Data from the U.S. Fire Administration shows that nearly 47,000 fires occurred during the winter holidays, claiming more than 500 lives and causing more than 2,000 injuries, also costing more than $554 million in property damages. Austintown Fire Chief David Schertzer joins me now with tips on how to keep your home safe this Christmas. Thanks for joining us, Chief.
Thanks for having me.
So Christmas is the peak day for candle fires. Almost half of home decoration fires in December are started by candles. What should people do, or how should they be vigilant when they're using candles to decorate?
Yeah, so typically people use candles more so around the holidays where they don't typically use them throughout the year. And they just need to be cognizant of where they put the candles. They need to keep them a safe distance from anything that can catch fire, drapes, other flammable things. Keep safe spacing. Put them on a steady, solid surface, and never leave them unattended. You want to keep it always unattended and have eyes on it. So pets and kids around playing, they can knock them over and things can happen. And you always want to make sure they're fully extinguished.
Now, dry Christmas trees can be extremely flammable. How often should people be watering their trees, and how close of a heat source, how far away should a heat source be away from a tree?
So Christmas trees should be watered daily. They do tend to use up a lot more water, especially in the winter months. It's really dry air. And the recommendation is to keep them a minimum of 3 feet away from any kind of flammable object. And go ahead.
I was going to say, and then how soon should people throw away their trees when Christmas is over?
So whenever a tree dries out and the needles really start falling off, you should consider, getting rid of that tree out of the house as soon as you can. There's plenty of places that can take them for you, and the ODNR, they actually take them and do fish habitats with live trees after use for the holidays.
Let's talk about outlets. How many items should be plugged into an outlet, and can a space heater and a tree be plugged into the same one?
No, we wouldn't recommend that. Portable space heaters like that, they should be the only thing plugged into an outlet by themselves. Those things can be 1,500 watts by themselves. So as far as other items being plugged in with those, we don't recommend that.
Fireplaces, if they're not maintained properly, carbon monoxide poisoning can be a threat. What do families need to do to ensure their fireplaces are ready?
Yeah, so you should, on an annual basis, have a professional come in and inspect and then clean your chimney. And, always use clean, dry, seasoned firewood in the fireplace. Keep a screen on it to keep embers from jumping out into the room. Always keep it attended, just like a candle, and make sure it's fully extinguished before you go to bed or away from the fire. Soak the ashes in a metal bucket outside, away from the house or any other structures. And as far as carbon monoxide goes, you should have a working carbon monoxide detector on the main floor of the home where people can hear it should there be a carbon monoxide incident.
All right, let's switch gears for our last question here. Chief, it's been a month since the Phoenix House explosion. Any updates on the investigation? Is that still ongoing? And have you heard of any plans what they may do with the building to rebuild and allow residents back, or tear it down?
As far as the investigation goes, we don't really have any updates at this time. We still feel that it's due to a natural gas situation. We do not currently know, exactly what the ignition source was or where the gas came from currently. And as far as the building goes, there are engineers that have been there and looked at the building, and I believe the consensus is this time that the building will be able to be reconstructed.
Which would be great news. Hopefully we can get those residents back as soon as possible. Chief David Schertzer, thank you so much for joining us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.